Imagine you wake up one morning and your body is telling you to walk, not just to the kitchen, not just down the street, but south, thousands of miles south. And somehow, deep in your bones, you know exactly which way south is, even with your eyes closed, even on a cloudy night with no stars. No phone, no map, just you and some invisible force pulling you like a magnet. That is not science fiction. That is what a tiny bird called the blackpoll warbler does every single fall, flying from Alaska all the way to South America. And for centuries, nobody could figure out how. This is the story of the hidden compass inside birds. And trust me, it is one of the wildest things in all of nature. First, let us talk about just how crazy bird migration actually is. The bar-tailed Godwit, a shorebird that weighs about as much as a large apple, flies nonstop from Alaska to New Zealand every year. That is 7,000 miles across open ocean, without stopping once to eat, drink, or sleep. Scientists tracked one individual bird in 2022, a male named 234,684, and he completed that journey in just 11 days. No land in sight for 11 straight days. How does he know where he is going? For a long time, scientists assumed birds just followed landmarks, like rivers and coastlines. Then researchers noticed that birds kept migrating just fine on completely overcast nights, with no stars and no visible sun. Something else was guiding them. In the 1960s, German scientists Wolfgang and Roswitha Wiltschko ran a clever experiment with European robins in Frankfurt. They put the birds inside a special round cage where they could see the sky, but not any landmarks. The birds always hopped toward the direction they would normally migrate. Then the Wiltschkos surrounded the cage with electromagnets and flipped the magnetic field. The birds turned around and hopped the opposite way. The birds were following Earth's magnetic field, like a living compass. That paper, published in 1968 in the journal Science, changed everything. So how does that compass actually work inside a bird's body? Scientists have found two different systems, and they are both remarkable. The first one lives in the bird's eye. Yes, the eye. There is a protein in the eyes of many birds called Cryptochrome 4, and researchers at the University of Oldenburg in Germany confirmed in a 2021 study published in Nature that this protein reacts to magnetic fields at a chemical level. It involves something called quantum entanglement, which is a process where tiny particles called electrons become linked across space. When light hits Cryptochrome 4, it may allow the bird to actually see magnetic field lines, the way you might see faint shadows. The bird might be literally watching the Earth's magnetic field like a heads-up display. The second system is even more physical. Inside the beaks of some birds, scientists have found tiny crystals of a mineral called magnetite, which is a natural magnetic material. It is the same stuff ancient sailors used to make the first compasses. These crystals may physically tug on nerve cells when the bird moves through a magnetic field, sending signals to the brain like a built-in needle on a compass. Research on homing pigeons, by Dr. Michael Walker, at the University of Auckland, found magnetite-containing cells connected directly to the trigeminal nerve, which goes straight to the brain. But the compass is only part of the story. Birds also use the sun as a clock compass during the day, tracking its position against their internal circadian rhythm. At night, many species use the rotation of the night sky around the North Star, a fact first proven by German ornithologist E.G.F. Sauer in the 1950s. Young birds learn the rotation point of the stars in their first summer and lock that direction in as north forever. And on top of all of that, birds can smell. Research published in 2013 in the Journal of Experimental Biology showed that Corey's shearwaters from the Canary Islands use airborne odors to help pinpoint their location over the open ocean. So a migrating bird is not using one compass. It is using 4 or 5 overlapping systems at once, cross-checking them the way a pilot uses instruments, backup instruments, and visual cues all at the same time. Here is the payoff, the thing that makes all of this land. These birds are not smart in the way humans are smart. A blackpoll warbler has a brain about the size of a blueberry. It cannot do math. It has never read a map. And yet it crosses continents and oceans with precision that would impress a military navigator. It does this because 400 million years of evolution built the compass in before the bird ever hatched. The hardware was installed at birth. Every fall, hundreds of millions of birds across every continent lift off into the dark sky, guided by quantum chemistry in their eyes, magnetic crystals in their beaks, the spin of the stars above them, and the smell of the wind. They have never needed GPS, because they have always been the GPS. Nature did not just solve the navigation problem. Nature solved it 5 different ways at once, just to be sure.